How you doing, folks? This is Attitude2 for OutstandingPoker.com. I've continued my previous session from the video that I put out last week, so it's a continuation. If you haven't seen the last one, I'd recommend you watching that first, as it'll start to get a read on some of my opponents that I'm really going to start to use throughout the series as I continue on and explain why I'm making each move and sort of my pre-flop plays and why I think a bluff may work here or may not work here, that sort of thing. So I really want to build on the last session and continue on talking about the various nuances at microstakes and how you can really exploit the various opponent types that I discussed last video and what those sort of exploitations are of the various players, such as like the nitty type long tongue guy, or the crazy like laggy guys at calling station guys that never fold, like San Mantoma right down here, who we ran into last session. So continuing on from that, I had just stacked him. I think the previous hand, so there'll be a little bit of a metagame, a little bit of a flow continuing on here. So I'm just going to dive right in without further ado. So as we saw previous session, a guy like Long Tongue's not a guy you really want to be messing around when he's entering the pot. As we see here, like, yeah, he's raising the cutoff. 7-5 offsuit is just not a strong hand at all, even to maybe 3-bet, just because he's raising such a low percentage of hands. I mean, if we look at his stat here, his opening range from the cutoff position is about 21%. So yeah, that's a little bit higher than what he's opening up under the gun, but a hand like 7-5 offsuit just isn't going to play well at all. Because if you do get involved, you want to have at least some chance of flopping something half decent. It's just not a good hand to play. A hand like King Jack offsuit here, bottom right, definitely opening that to $1. A guy like Long Tongue, I'd open almost any two because he's just folding so much in the big blind. You got to counterbalance that with a guy like San Mantoma, because he's calling pretty much every hand. So if it was two nitty guys, I'd open up almost any two cards under on the button. Just because they're going to fold so often, I'm going to steal the blinds. It's just going to be immediately profitable to take the blind money. Not to mention, even if they do call, you can put pressure on them post flop and take down a lot of pots there. So King Jack offsuit, definitely a hand I'm raising for value against a guy that I know calls almost every hand here. And a guy that I know folds almost every hand here. So these are quite the counterbalanced guys here. But anyway, so managed to flop decent. Very happy with this flop against this guy, especially. Not really going to be too concerned about him having a 7, given that he's playing 86% of hands. So betting that for value and hoping to get 3 streets of value, ideally there. Now, like, I mean, if he check raise, now say the guy like check raise that flop. Let me just wind this back just a slight bit. Say he check raises, I bet my $2, he check raises it. I'm definitely not folding. I think the question I'd ask myself is, well, is he going to check raise with a 7, or is he going to slow play it? And my feeling would be that this kind of guy is going to slow play a 7, because that's what the noobish type guys love to do. So I wouldn't be too concerned he had a 7. Now if he check called and then check raised the turn, I might be getting a little suspicious and try to get to showdown. I don't know if I'd ever really fold a hand as strong as King Jack here against this guy, just because he's so wild and he's playing almost every hand. So I'm not gonna really give him too much credit at all for having a better hand than King Jack. But just sort of for argument's sake, what I would do if he did check raise me there, I'd probably call, reevaluate the turn, probably call again on the turn if he bet, and then decide again on the river. So anyway, continuing on. A hand like Jack 6 offsuit, just not going to really mess around there. Pretty standard fold. And again, I say I'll open almost any 2 in the button against the right type of blind opponents, but a hand like 9 deuce offsuit just is